Oh no, now it works. Okay, I'm streaming.
Yeah.
It's live.
Hello, people.
Hello.
Some technical issues.
Hold on. Oh, actually,
Let's see
5
if it
people
works.
waited the whole time. Oh no, now it works. Okay, I'm streaming. Okay, I have to.
Okay.
I will stop screen sharing now.
Stops. Yeah, yeah. I'll stop
Uh,
recording. Yeah, my stream works. I can see it.
okay, perfect. Then I'm gonna quit the call and we can do a warm-up match.
Yeah, we can do a warm up. Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. Just had to figure out some issues with the stream setup. Let's see if it actually works when I start the game. Should show Shogun 2 right now. I don't know if it does. Okay, I still don't see the Shogun 2 application, but the audio seems to be working fine. Oh, now it works. Okay. It was just a delay. All right. Well, hello everyone. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. We're still in the warm-up phase, so I'm helping PrussianPrince warm up before they get started. I'm assuming Chaos Blade is doing the same as he is already in game. And then after this quick Rice Fields battle, we can get going with the lower bracket final. I'll spread the link a couple more times when it actually starts. And if there are some issues with the stream, just feel free to use the chat. I have it open on my mobile. Okay, 3 matchlocks. No Dachi. Good calf. Oh, rank 6 even. Okay, this could get difficult. We have to get the bulletproof to get some good volleys in. Oh, got in there. Okay, this is very messy now. I know that she still aren't moving. That's a problem. Oops, that's a mistake. Misclick. Get these turned around. Let them help here. This is working fine. Here I'm vulnerable. Turn these around. Stand and fight. And I should be fine. This is nasty right here.
Shameful display.
It's too early for Warcry, unfortunately. Ah, fuck.
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display. Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display. Our men are running from the battlefield! Shameful display!
Alright. Looks like I enjoyed that warm-up more than he did. I have to check what the tiebreak map is gonna be. I think, if I remember correctly, it's Saga River. So it's a classical, it's a classic best of 5. And I think Chaos Blade has the first map pick. So it's gonna be interesting what he chooses to go for. gonna see if they're both ready. And use the time to spread the link a bit more. All right. Yeah, so Chaos Blade has the first map pick, so he's on the left side. Let's check the brackets. Let's close all these tabs. Here it is. All right, so the tiebreak match is, yeah, Saga River. So Saga River cannot be picked prior to that, so it's excluded from the map pool. And yeah, the winner will then be my opponent for most likely next weekend. And let's see. So Prussian Prince obviously had a longer path through the lower bracket. He originally dropped down by, where is it? Here, losing 1-2 to C4. Then he beat Nubi 2-1. Then he beat Katix 2-0. Then he had a rematch against C4 2-1. Then he beat Michalka 3-0. And yeah, now he's one more victory away from rejoining the upper bracket. And Chaos Blade had a more straightforward path, so he beat Pro Ace, beat Strategy Master, beat Stupid Boy, beat C4, all without dropping a battle. Then he lost to me, and now he has the chance to for a rematch against me. Should be interesting. I haven't played, like, aside from this warm-up on some other casual games, I haven't actually played against Prussian Prince in a tournament. I think so. That would also be interesting to have him as my opponent, but it's going to be hard to predict because both players are very experienced. And yeah, Prussian Prince just informed me that Chaos Blade has picked Kanto. Which we've seen a couple of times from him. Probably one of his most played maps in general. Yeah. I'm not gonna show the armies until they finish deployment. I think that's kind of the rule if you live stream, because in the deployment phase I would be able to see Prussian Prince's army as he is the host of the lobby. No, Vermin Supreme is actually my the name of my avatar. Like this is Emperor Palpatine against Prussian Prince. All right, Archery Dojo and Farmhouse. I'm not sure the army here. Interesting, two very weak dojos. Yeah, it's hard to say. It depends kind of like what kind of army you bring in terms of what's better here. I haven't checked the lobby in terms of the generals that they picked. Like if someone has brought a Bojan, then obviously the archery dojo gains some importance. Other than that, farmhouse maybe for the late game in case you have some matchlocks running around getting chased, but nothing that both players should worry about too much. Dojo control, that is. I do assume we're gonna see two sword builds. I think that's kind of what's been played on Kanto planes for the entire tournament. You can play different stuff as well, but it kind of requires a more campy playstyle. So you could technically also bring in Ashigaru spam and just sit in one of the forests, like on either the left or the right side. Minimap, okay. Disabled the minimap. Thank you. And both of these forests are kind of equal for both sides in terms of terrain. Yeah, usually when I make the decision like where to put my main force, and I just go to the side where you find the more important dojo. You have to be careful not to redline camp, of course, but here, I mean, there's enough space for everyone. Really, it's really rare to see redline camping. And here, this is also some interesting terrain, especially in Fall of the Samurai. If you're playing a bit more passive, you can use the slope to hide a little bit, especially when you bring some melee troops. And you want to bait your opponent out a little bit before you go all in, then this is a nice place to hide before you rush over. Okay, still in the deployment phase. Actually, a nice bit of detail here. I wonder how many frames are eaten up just by having these little useless things on the map. Okay, and it's live. Let's go. Okay, first Chaos is built, and oh, never mind. I thought this was Prussian Prince first. Okay, so Chaos Blade's army was open the entire time and not Prussian Princes, so he has brought a Waco Raider, rank 6 going for the farmhouse. Cav, let's see, Great Guard. So I assume 2 of those with Yariki, Cav and 2 Light Cav, so 6 Cav in total, very strong. I can already tell much stronger than Prussian Prince. His best calf is a fire calf rank 6, supplemented by some Yari calves and light calves. Then the core consists of a bunch of Nodachi, 3 of those, Yari Sam on the flanks, 2 of those, and the bulletproof. Very solid standard build. I like this a lot. No matchlock for him, and his general is a command with bone enabled. And Prussian Prince has a very different setup, but also a sword core. So he went for lone sword Ashigaru, he went for a couple matchlock Ash, couple Yari Ash, and yeah, that's basically it. So three matchlocks versus no matchlocks. I think that's the most interesting comparison here. And yeah, I think especially the early game is very tricky for Prussian Prince because he has to be careful not to just get rushed like within a minute or two. He has to give himself time to set up properly, to find good positions for his matchlocks. Here's a good position, relatively good line of sight. You can play in and around the farmhouse. Here it's a bit more tricky. This area is kind of notorious for bad line of sight. It's probably a good idea from Prussian Prince to retreat a little bit here. You don't need to overextend, especially with an Ashigaru core. It's just too unstable. And yeah, this gives Chaos Blade the control of the archery dojo, but again, no skirmish unit, so it's literally meaningless here. Chaos Blade trying to get into the back of of Prussian Prince, and he obviously wants to stop it. There's some calf getting caught. This looks very awkward. Yari calf catching Great Guard in the back, losing 13 men, but in turn getting caught as well. And I don't know, the problem for Prussian Prince kind of is that there's a Yari Samurai from Chaos Blade getting into the mix much quicker than Prussian Prince can support his flank. And these Yari Sam are going to do a lot of damage. So this calf fight has to be decided very, very soon, and then he has to pull out. But also bad news for Chaos Blade. These lone swords, if they get a clean back charge into these Yari Sams, then this could turn it around very quickly. What's happening in the center? Frontal assault, Nodachi getting the short end of the stick here. Lone swords doing much better in the overall engagement. Frontal charge, lone swords, clean charge into bulletproof. This is also a good deal for Prussian Prince overall. So far, I like the engagements, but I think this is an overextension. We have a Great Guard and a Yari calf coming into Prussian Prince's back, and this is super annoying to defend from him. He has to either pull back. He has to pull back this Yari calf, I think now, get it out of the mix, countercharge the Yari calf, do the same with his light calf, support with Nagi attendants, and maybe he can hold. But the problem is his general now being in stand and fight is kind of missed in and around here. I think this is a much better position for stand and fight. But I see more and more red banners here, and this is a problem for Chaos Blade. We have General against General. He's charging into a stand and fight with only 14 melee attack. So because he has bow enabled, he has less melee attack. No 26, but only 14. Now, over the long term, he's deciding the flanking fight in his favor. I assume because of the Yari Sams, even the Wakos got in here now. So this looks like Prussian Prince is going to lose his general. But the main fight obviously has been in his favor. And now it's all about, I think, reorganizing and counting your troops. So let's count the calf first. There's a Great Guard, 30 men for Chaos Blade. There's a General, 30 men. A Light Calf, 18 men. A Yariki, 18 men. There's no calf at all for Prussian Prince, and we see a lot of red banners wavering now. Unprotected Matchlock Ash, they're going to die. Nagi attendants can't save them. These Matchlock Ash are unprotected, are going to die as well very soon. And here, I don't know why they're still alive. This looked completely lost for Chaos Blade a while ago.
Shame for this play!
But now there's just too much wavering and routing from Prussian Prince, and all of these units can be hunted down by Chaos Blade's Calf. And I think this looks more and more like Chaos is able to turn it around. Lone Sword, 106 men, getting flank charged by the Light Calf. Then up against the Nodachi, 70 men. Might need to pop Banzai now. There's one more Yari Ash, which could serve as a protector for this Matchlock Ash. But they're all on such low morale, and the general has died. Yeah, so this is super annoying for Prussian Prince to micro now, because you're only able to react. You can't really do anything proactive. Nice turning around of the Matchlock. He might be able to kill off this Light Calf. It's actually stabilizing. That's a shame. The Light Calf is stabilizing while it's charging into Yari Ash. Interesting. And now there might be a triple route for Prussian Prince. Banzai pop for Prussian Prince, but these Matchlock Ash are getting caught now. These Matchlock Ash are going to die, 100%. They're turning around, but I don't think they have reloaded. I think they fired already. Yeah, they're dead. They're dead. And here, 3 men, no Dachi, still alive. Routing at 3 men, no Banzai. That's insane, kind of. Okay, but for some reason this... Okay, first I thought this was clearly a game for Prussian Prince. Then I thought, okay, this is now over. Chaos Blade turned it around and killed off all the remaining Matchlocks. Now it's kind of even-ish. But still, I think Chaos Blade has this. Why? Because he has the bow on his general. It's a terrible bow, but still a bow. And a bow that is unopposed. And he still has this, now not as useless as before, Archery Dojo. So yeah, this is very unfortunate for Prussian Prince. All he really can do, and I don't know if he even has the time to make it, all he can do is run to this Archery Dojo and sit on it so that Chaos Blade cannot refill his ammo. And yeah, but as you can see, morale-wise, I think he's going to die before he gets there. This is yeah, a bit unfortunate with the general. I think if his general had been in the center supporting the main force, so many of his units would have lasted longer, and even if they didn't or would have won their fights, they would have had more stamina. And I think that decision alone was what kind of gave Chaos the chance to come back here. So yeah, GG. 1-0 in favor of Chaos Blade, who wins his map pick. Very tight game. I think this is yeah, was fantastic as an opener. I think for these types of situations, I mean, that's exactly why some people prefer to have a command gen with bow enabled. I'm still not a big fan of it, because ideally you want your command general to be in stand and fight as long as possible. And in that scenario, the bow is kind of useless. And then in that situation, I'd rather have better melee stats on my command gen to be able to survive for longer when he's in stand and fight. But it's just a different approach overall to how to play the command gen. But yeah, interesting choice overall to go for Great Guard, because especially in vanilla, more so than on 4th Samurai, you're kind of I mean, there's only 5 retainer slots you can use, and there's so many good ones and even necessary ones. That I don't know if it's wise to spend the retainer just to unlock the Great Guard. But it worked here. Interesting to watch. I don't think it was the Great Guard overall that gave him the game. I think even when the funds would have been used on some other heavy cav. And he just had the same approach to the game. I think this would have played out very similarly. And we already see the map pick from PrussianPrince, which is going to be waterfalls. Interesting. Yeah, today it worked with the bow. Yeah, he will definitely be happy about that. But still, like 14 attack on a general, that's insanely weak. Okay, I'm gonna update the scoreboard here. I don't know why I saw Chaos Blade's army in deployment. I always thought, like as a spectator, that you see the host army. But it seems to be the other way around. Okay, I'll get something to drink while they set up their armies. All right, that was quick. Looks like both are ready. I think Waterfalls is much more dependent on the dojos, which makes it less easy to actually plan for. Because when you get like two super strong dojos on the lower side, it can completely screw over your plan you had. Sometimes forcing you to reposition completely. And let's see. Oh no, this is actually favorable to. Oh, hold on. I'm not gonna show the army. This is actually favorable to whoever plans to go for the upper side. So farmhouse on the lower end, maybe worth to send an attendant over, but I would be surprised to see more units going for this. So my expectation, without knowing what they're gonna do, is that we'll see like a big face-off in and around this area with like maybe a third of the army kind of capping, decapping on this downward slope around here. Also interesting to see whether the units are going, whether the players are going to make use of this upper side. I quite like to use this, especially in Fortress Samurai. But it all kind of depends on the army composition that you have. Like if you bring an Ashigaru core, obviously it always is beneficial to stay more compact, and spreading out might get punished more easily. But if you bring a very mobile build with Yari Sams, with lots of cavalry, then maybe it could be an idea to use this terrain to flank around. It's also classic map for some 200 range bows, and maybe some matchlocks as well. Yeah, I agree. I think the sword dojo especially is the most important dojo in Shogun. Even in Fortress of Samurai, I think it's more important than the archery dojo. Okay, but let's get going. Prussian Prince's army first. 3 matchlocks, all extended range, Ashigaru. Lone Sword Ashigaru, 4 of them with Banzai, bunch of Yari Ash. Bow Ashigaru, that's interesting, rank 5. 200 range Daikyu, long Yari Ash in the back. Cavalry wise, well, this. And Nagi Attendant going for the farmhouse. Okay. Also a 200 range bow for Chaos Blade, so we're gonna have a bow off. Also a bow Ashigaru rank 5. I don't know if... okay, that is quite a coincidence that both decided to bring basically the same. Bow Cav as well for Chaos Blade, but I cannot cast the entire army because it's already starting off. Overall, very similar approach. Lone Swords, Long Yari in the back. This is almost identical from both. But there's a Katana Cav for Chaos Blade. That's new. And it looks like Prussian Prince is going to be the aggressor here. That's interesting. Because it looks like they're kind of equal in terms of their skirmish capabilities. So it's interesting that Prussian Prince decides to go first. He has to be careful here because the shrine is getting kept by Chaos Blade. He just needs to move this one unit a little bit further to the left. Because if Chaos gets the shrine here, he's gonna be screwed. Because it boosts these Ashigaru so much. At the same time, the Daikyus are focus firing Chaos Blade's Daikyus, so better bow micro from Prussian Prince so far than from Chaos Blade. But the rest is super difficult to cast. Like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm surprised if they know what's going on. I think they're just basically right-clicking here. Stand and fight for Prussian Prince, stand and fight for Chaos Blade. Both very open and exposed. They have to be careful that the generals are not getting focus fired here. I think Prussian Prince's general is getting targeted by Chaos Blade. So this is a different approach. Chaos fires at the general, Prussian Prince fires at the bow. We're gonna see what pays off in the end here. Here we see the hidden light cav going against the katana cav. The light cav is gonna go down, but it's gonna be cost efficient against the katana cav. And ooh, that's annoying. Here, Chaos actually got the shrine, and now it's taking a lot of time to decap it. This is going to be a huge boost for Chaos Blade. The general is going to die very soon. Prussian Prince puts him out of stand and fight to protect him. This is actually a good idea. Long Yari pushing in. Where's Chaos Blade's Long Yari? This is so confusing. Okay, at least Prussian Prince is gonna kill off the cav from Chaos Blade that's lurking in the back. This is a huge win. At the same time, Daikyu is still healthy, still a full matchlock here, still a full matchlock here, which is getting targeted by Chaos Blade's light cav. So this is Miss Micro from Prussian Prince. Lone Sword in the back. They could get into these 3 skirmish units. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it looks like what kind of melee units does Prussian Prince even have left here? Nagi Attendants, Yari Ash, Nagi Attendants, Lone Sword 70 men, but they're about to die very soon. Yeah, this looks like there's too much left for Chaos, really. I mean, this light cav is doing so much damage, just running over 3 skirmish units to farm on. Now Prussian Prince is in control of the shrine. It will help him stabilize a little bit. And there's no more cav now from... Oh wait, never mind. There's 60 men light cav. So maybe there's an outsider's chance if all these routing units come back. I wouldn't rule it out. But this looks very bleak for Prussian. And he has to be careful not to let his Daikyu get shot by these matchlocks, which I think is going to be Chaos Blade's plan. Yeah, it looks like he's given an attack order. He has to save these Daikyus. This is a big micro mistake. Because he can actually... I mean, these bow ash, okay,
Our men are running
they're
from the
negligible, but he can actually
battlefield.
win this now.
Shameful display.
Because Chaos Blade, he still has a general, which Prussian Prince doesn't have, but the general is not on horseback. So there's basically no mobile unit anymore on the field. There's the big advantage in terms of the shrine. This is a bit of a problem because I think Chaos Blade is very much able to decap the shrine. And when that happens, the effect of the kill general is going to hit much harder than currently. And there's a bunch of units waving for Prussian Prince, Long Yari, but the Long Yari is getting attacked frontally. I think they should be able to be resilient.
From the battlefield. Shameful display.
This all comes down to the Long Yari. This is interesting. They're wavering and wavering and wavering, but they're not routing. And I feel like these Matchlock Warrior Monks are doing a fair bit of team damage. Ooh, and Matchlocks are routed off. What's going on here? Long Yari from Chaos Blade routed off by Nagi attendants. And yeah, now the Daikyu just needs to focus fire these Matchlock Warrior Monks, and I think this is game for Prussian Prince. Wow, I did not see this coming. I thought this was Chaos Blade's game. I think this Long Yari was the wrong unit to send down to decap the shrine, because the Long Yari was basically just an open target for the Matchlock Ash from Prussian Prince with 190 kills.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon be yours.
I don't know if he had other units he could have sent down there, and decapping the shrine was important, but throwing away an entire Long Yari, which was his most important melee unit at that point, I think that was the wrong choice just in the end. Yeah, looks like Chaos Blade conceded. Wow, interesting. I definitely have to rewatch the initial stages, because it was so messy. Like, it looks like Prussian Prince just pushed forward his spear walls into a giant blob, and in the end, then it comes down to focus fire from all the units that are not on the front line but in behind. Like focus fire from the bows, focus fire from the matchlocks, getting good positions so that they can shoot over the heads of their friendly units, stuff like that. Not a lot of cavalry micro, of course, because they didn't bring that much cav. But I think the intercepted katana cav in the back also played a major role, because the katana cav, let's try to find them. I don't think they had that many kills. 76. Okay, it's not terrible, but still not great either. They were on rank 2. And if I remember correctly, there was a bow cav, and I mentioned it in the beginning, but then I never mentioned it again because I don't know what happened to it. Like 21 kills, and then literally never seen it again. Again, have to rewatch that. Okay, interesting. Prussian Prince just told me that Chaos Blade used a matchlock debuff retainer against him to limit his matchlock reload. Not something you see too often, but it kind of speaks to the fact that they pretty much expected each other to bring the armies that they did. And I think, yeah, the most striking thing definitely is like how similar these armies are. Bow Ash, rank 5, Daikyus, Yari Ash protecting 4 lone swords. Yeah. Interesting brawl, definitely. And But again, PrussianPrince should not have allowed Chaos Blade to capture the shrine in the first place. I think that was a blunder that could have cost him. Hey there, you want to join our community? Zhen Yuan, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. There's I don't know if someone from the viewers can link the Steam group chat. I mean, there's a large group chat for yeah, just basically all active players, which is, however, separate from this tournament. So this is a smaller tournament for players who enjoy the 1 versus 1 mode. And we are obviously in the final stages, this being the lower bracket final. But if you're interested, I'm sure there will be some new tournaments popping up soon, maybe 1 versus 1, maybe 2 versus 2, maybe both. And in that case, I think yeah, everyone who is still active is obviously welcome to join. And it looks like we got a new map already. I'm gonna update the scoreboard again. So yeah, this is a best of 5, so we're not yet at the tiebreaker stage. So the first to win 3 battles wins the series and moves into the grand final. Ava Rich Pass is interesting as a map. We didn't see it that often. We saw it more in the Fall of the Samurai tournament, I think, more so than in Vanilla. But I do remember that Chaos Blade likes it as well, because I mean this is quite a while ago, maybe 3-4 years. I vaguely remember playing in a tournament against Chaos, and he picked Ava Rich Pass against me, and it was a very close game, and he beat me on it. And yeah, that's just what I remember. I think it was kind of a brawl between 2 spear setups. That's a very versatile map. Like um, I would assume, this is just a guess, that we're gonna see some Naginata Warrior Monks now, because that's kind of the perfect map for it. It's very hard to get clean charges on this terrain, so maybe no lone swords this time, maybe fewer no Dachi. But again, you could also play a full camp build here and just sit on one side of the hill. So there's more than one way to play this map. And if I remember correctly, there's also only 2 dojos and they're not symmetrical. So there's also a bit of dojo luck that's gonna be involved. Yeah, always these 2 players again. But I don't think they played each other in a long time. Must have been years ago. Could be wrong. Aside from the Fall of the Samurai tournament, of course. Then it only was like a few weeks ago. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. So it looks like PrussianPrince is taking some more time to think. Chaos Blade probably had an army prepared for this. There's also no vet refresh, so I think we're gonna see some of the units again that we had in game 1. I would assume we're gonna see a fire cavalry from Prussian Prince. I'm gonna assume we're gonna see a bulletproof Sam from Chaos Blade, which is a good fit for this map. What else? Maybe a Waco as well. It could be very risky because if you put a Waco on a hill, then they're gonna be very much exposed. You need to follow it up with Cav quickly to support. Yeah, no, just figured out which army I see in the beginning in the deployment phase. So it's always the player on the left side, regardless of who's host. So now I should be able to see, yeah, Chaos sites. So I'm gonna zoom over that, and it looks like Chaos is a bit more lucky because on his side he's got the shrine. Prussian Prince has got the farmhouse on his side, which makes it a bit more difficult for Prussian Prince to plan this. He definitely won't, I assume, given the shrine for free. I think there will be some pressure applied, but this, yeah, will give him some headaches, I think. But of course, the farmhouse is not to be underrated on this map, especially. There are some maps where this really comes into play. I assume both players also use the Yamabushi retainer to decrease the speed debuffs caused by rough terrain. And we've had 2 games with very close end games now. So especially when these 2 players meet, I think the farmhouse is much more important than it would be on a different level of play. Yeah, I had the minimap again. Just gonna disable that. Yeah, could definitely be worse. Like, you don't want to give your opponent the sword dojo. Yeah, it looks like Prussian Prince reacts accordingly, focuses completely on the left side to apply pressure on the shrine. Probably a good idea. Let's see how it pans out. Loads of Cav. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Cav. I think that's 4 Yaris and 1 Fire Cav. Command Gen, Lone Sword Core again. I didn't expect that. Interesting. And for Chaos Blade, Waco again, not pushing forward very wisely because this is too dangerous. Much less Cav than Prussian Prince, I think. Yari Cav, Light Cav. There must be something hidden, right? Oh no, I forgot about these 2 units. So 2 more Yari Cav. Now it's fine. Even highly vetted on rank 6. And yeah, as I predicted, Chaos Blade went for the Nagi Monk setup with some flanking bulletproof Yarisam and interestingly Marathon Monks. I have played these 2 once in the tournament and that was the only battle I lost, so I have some bad experiences with this, but obviously it makes more sense if you have a full Naginata Warrior Monk setup because you can basically use the marginal effects of the retainer boosts. So they obviously benefit by the retainers for the regular Nagi monks. And they're already applying some pressure in around the farmhouse, which Chaos Blade doesn't want to give for free to Prussian Prince. All the while he has the shrine locked down. And you can already see Prussian Prince is kind of on the back foot here, already moving back. Wanting to position his matchlocks, and how many does he have? 3 again with extended range, and it looks more and more like he's not gonna be able to get the shrine back. I would be very surprised if at any point during the battle he gets the shrine, and this is a big problem. Now there's an onslaught of monks coming with boosted morale, 17 morale. They're gonna survive for a long time. And look at the terrain. Most of the charges are going to be have a downhill advantage, I think. So this is another headache for Prussian Prince, who is, I think, overcompensating here. He's just on the back foot, running back, running back, running back. I think these matchlocks are running too far back. Like, what are they going to do here? I don't know. But
Our men are running from the battlefield.
there's still loads of cavalry for Prussian Prince. If used correctly, they could make a difference here. Interesting battle to clear up his right flank. If he can kill off this Yarikav, then that's another that's one less flank to worry about. And yeah, you see the first units wavering already. This is going to be a problem. He's going to need to pop Banzai soon here. This is very risky. Now he popped Banzai, so they're going to survive for a little bit longer. Looks like this is an extremely tough cavalry. But the problem is these are matchlock ash, so they don't have great accuracy. So they will cause some friendly fire when they shoot from this far. And this will add to the morale problems from Prussian Prince. Some nice targeting by the matchlock ash here. I think he was targeting the Yarikav. General went into stand and fight. We can't see the radius here, but I think this is a good spot to go in. And Chaos Blade is even gonna win this fight. Yarikav rank 6 beating Yarikav rank 2, and then he's gonna have loads of Cav units flanking in around Prussian Prince. And does he have any Cav left? I don't see any Cav for Prussian. There's a light Cav still alive, but that's not gonna do it, unfortunately. And yeah, I think this is unraveling fast now. I think this is game. General from Chaos Blade, not even in range, playing it super safe. And Prussian Prince concedes the game. Okay, yeah, that was coming from a mile ago. Kind of accelerated by the dojo placement, but I think when you run that far back with your matchlocks, then you're kind of signaling already that you don't really have a plan on how to approach this. Yeah, I mean, how do you even break these units? 17 morale Nagi monks. I mean, kill-wise, they all did fine, the lone swords. But yeah, it's just not enough. And it also felt like he didn't really get too many openings with his cavalry, because Chaos Blade was a bit wider in his positioning. So he always had the chance to throw in some attendants, throw in some Yarisam to support the Cav fight and fake charge and block and retreat. And if you don't have supporting spear units flanking around, then you kind of you're a bit less free in terms of picking your Cav engagements. Yeah, marathon monks are definitely questionable as a choice. I mean, in theory, it's kind of fun to bring them, but it always never works in practice. I think if you're just the same unit, but with regular unit size, I think would have made much more sense. Then it justifies the insane price. This has like a neat special ability, but yeah, with 90 men instead of 120, you're basically at a disadvantage from the get-go. So I'm gonna update the score. And let's see, looks like Prussian Prince is picking Hida Mountains. And this could be the final battle already if Chaos Blade wins it. If not, we're going to see a tiebreaker on Saga River. Yeah, that too. They need special retainers. That's kind of the downside with the monk setups. They're still insanely strong, but the +2 melee attack retainer is usually not enough. Like players either have to supplement it with Renyo's teaching, sometimes even Iko Iki, but that's only for the really, if you really go all in monks. Sometimes you want to supplement it with a Fugu Cook to make enemy swords weaker and boost your monks in comparison. There's so many things you have to that are really good options, and yeah, you have to kind of prioritize. Sometimes I even switch out the +2 calf attack retainer, which I have in 99% of my games, just to bring an extra monk boost. And that's also kind of the scenario where it might be worth it to bring monk cavalry, because they obviously also benefit from the infantry monk retainers. So Hida is going to be interesting, because I think, judging on from what we've seen so far from PrussianPrince, who picked this map, I think this is a lot more suitable for him if he wants to bring 3 matchlocks again, which was a questionable choice for Ava Ridge Pass. But on Hida Mountain, it can definitely work, especially when you get them into the central forest. That's a big boost for all and any matchlock units. I would be surprised if we see like loads of cavalry here. I think it's deceptive because it's a very open map. It's deceptive to entice players to bring like 8 cav or something, but I feel like this is a map where you can inf spam, or basically just bring an infantry rush, sword rush, even monk rush. All kind of infantry rushes work quite well here, because there are so many little terrain, patches of rough terrain, that cavalry is very tricky, and it gets stuck a lot, and doesn't get a full charge bonus and stuff. Moncav doesn't benefit from Mikoshi. I would have to test that. I remember I always thought that they do. In that case, it would be an even switch if you get rid of the regular +2 calf attack retainer. But I think we'll see. We keep seeing the pattern of just the players using the special DLC units in rotation. So I think the likelihood is great that we're gonna see long Yaris from both players this time. And what else? I think PrussianPrince might have bulletproof now. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, if I had to bet, I would say both players are gonna bring long Yaris. Okay, there we are. Sword Dojo on the outer side. That's interesting. Farmhouse in the center, workshop on the upper side. Okay, that makes it very interesting. So the attacker is PrussianPrince. This is hold on. Oh, okay. PrussianPrince just informed me about the retainers used against him. I'm gonna mention that later. So this side is relatively easy from Chaos Blade to defend if he chooses to do so, because he can get up on this hill a little bit faster and then have a downward engagement while locking down the workshop. But of course, that would mean giving up the Sword Dojo to PrussianPrince. I'm not sure if you want to do that. So it would be interesting to see how they distribute it. So yeah, the terrain is super tricky in and around here. Like basically the entire center is just uneven terrain. It gets somewhat more flat the closer you get to the farmhouse, but even then it's not completely flat. Okay, let's go. PrussianPrince. Light Cav, Yari Cav rank 6. Light Cav, Yari Cav rank 4. 2 more Yari Cavs on the right with a Light Cav. So that's 7 in total. Command Gen. Again, 3 matchlocks, so he sticks to his guns. Again, 4 Lone Sword. Chaos Blade. Again, Command Gen. 1, 2, 3 Cav that we can see so far. One of them being a Fire Cav rank 6. 4 Nodachi rank 2. All protected by Nagi attendants. And then we have some flanking Nagi warrior monks, 2 of those. Interesting, rank 6 and rank 4. And the third, rank 5. Oh, never mind. Okay, so he really only has these 4 Cav units because he has a super expensive infantry corps. 4 Nagi monks, 4 Nodachi. That is very interesting to see. Obviously, only one of those 2 components boosted by retainers. And I think he boosted his Nodachi because they have 20 attack. So the Nagi warrior monks have much worse stats. Let's go. Head-on engagements. Fire Cav destroying the Yari Cav from PrussianPrince. This is hard to cast. This is a bit messy. But it looks like Chaos Blade wants to force this engagement as fast as possible, as he should. Because he doesn't have any time to waste. And I haven't really seen any matchlock volleys from PrussianPrince so far, which is a bad sign for him. Already wavering Lone Swords against Nagi warrior monks. Maybe they didn't get a proper charge here. But PrussianPrince really needs to consolidate here. This looks terrible for him. This looks terrible. I don't see how he makes use of his Cav advantage. I don't see how he makes use of his matchlock and skirmish advantage. I just see a huge brawl, and that's beneficial to Chaos Blade. But let's see. Maybe the devil is in the details. So 1 Lone Sword holding up 5 units from Chaos here. That's good for once. Good volley from Matchlock Ash against Light Cav. Now they have to retreat. Here we have 2 Matchlocks basically standing on top of each other. They again do have to retreat, only covered by a Nagi attendant, which is getting pushed by Nagi warrior monks. And here there's some back charges from PrussianPrince, but reacted in time by Fire Cav and Nagi attendants. So PrussianPrince has to pull out of that very fast. And here, stand and fight general from PrussianPrince getting attacked by Yarikav rank 6, supported by Nodachi. This is again bad for him. I think the general will not be able to make it. I think this is a missed opportunity from Chaos to leave like a sword or just an attendant behind to cap the sword dojo. Workshop in control of Chaos as well. And again, the matchlocks are just on the run, being chased down. They have no time to stop and actually fire. And this is already kind of game. And yeah, looks like PrussianPrince conceded early here, but understandably, because there was no way for him to fight back. And yeah, there was a potential for a nice rout. But yeah, very quick game. Nicely executed rush from Chaos Blade. Well chosen army for what he planned to do. So GG, and yeah, GG's in terms of the entire series, because this makes it 3-1, which means that Chaos Blade moves into the grand final. So congratulations to him. We'll still have a look at the unit stats. Yeah, it's kind of even between the Nodachi and the Warrior Monks, but they all fulfilled their role. The Inagi Warrior Monks applying nice pressure on the matchlocks from the flanks didn't really give PrussianPrince an opportunity to use his calf advantage. And it just, yeah, even though PrussianPrince had the huge calf advantage, it didn't look like it. Like if you didn't count the calf actually, and just observed like how the game unfolded, it almost looked like they were even on calf. That's how nicely executed this rush was. And yeah, matchlocks here, 26, 24, 0. That's there lies in the problem. Also, Yarikav 8 kills, Lightcav 6 kills, Lightcav 1 kill. Yeah, it's very easy to see here what didn't work for Prussian. But yeah, good games, very interesting. Especially the first two games were amazing, I think. Definitely gonna put this as a full video on my channel. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'm just gonna update the tournament real quick. So let's make it properly. So there you have it. So the final is going to be played between Chaos Blade and myself, probably next week, but I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. And at the same time, let's go to the V.O.D for Samurai tournament. There you have it. Atlantis beat me in the lower bracket final, 3-1. So there we will have a final between Atlantis and Chaos Blade played next weekend. So both grand final series will probably be live streamed, either by me or by someone else from within the community. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you there. Maybe someone's up for a few games. I'll definitely be online for the rest of the day, or for most of it. And yeah, hope to see you in some lobbies. Thank you for